Justine, one of the features, because I know we're coming up to our time, one of the features that I would like to mention with a LIRP is that it can also help with long-term care needs later on in life. Some of the features for long-term care needs is included in some policies, but not all policies. So you really have to know kind of which policies are really good for that. And that's what we help clients with. But long-term care needs is very, very important down the road, something to consider.
是的，长期护理呢，就是我自己也已经超过50岁了。我们这样的人群是长期护理是一直在我们的 mind 上面的。我自己最近也买了一个长期护理的险。我是这么看这个问题的，就是我们中国人的父母啊，作为一个中国人呢，反正这个是用大部分还是用中文讲。我想我的大部分的客人是中国人，就中国的父母，我觉得是全世界最伟大的父母。可怜天下父母心，为了孩子做了很多很多铺垫的事情。每个人都希望我们自己的孩子有一个更高的起点，有一个更好的开始，少受一点苦。那么你想一想，等到我自己70、80岁的时候，我的孩子40、50岁的时候，是他们事业的巅峰。我这个中文先越讲越臭。这个the peak right 顶峰，他事业最好的时候，我是不是忍心让他去终止他的这个事业，然后来照顾我？因为我自己不行了。长期护理的费用是很高的，今天是差不多300块钱一天。我的邻居一个犹太的老太太最近有一个 stroke， 就是找了一个20多岁的女孩子来帮她的忙，一天是300块钱。那么24小时的护理，那一个月就是1万块钱，一年就是12万块钱。我是这么看这个问题，不是说你有没有这个钱做这个事。你如果可以买好一份这样的保险，不要用那么多的钱，就可以把这件事情处理的不是更好吗？而且，所以我觉得长期护理是很重要的。很多的人寿保险公司里面，长期护理是它的一个附加条款，有一些很好的保险公司都没有附加的费用，所以这是一定要考虑好的。尽管你今年可能不到50岁，你都应该考虑到。当然，作为会计，我最后还想跟大家分享的一点呢，就是人寿保险一向是美国富人用来做遗产规划里面一个不可或缺的部分。我这里也跟大家分享了一个图啊，就是联邦的豁免的额度非常高。现在Trump 的税改以后，18年的税改以后呢，一对夫妇现在有2360万。那我大部分的客人都跟我说，哎呀，这个是应该是到不了的，不可能会到，所以没有这个问题啊。但是我想提醒大家2件事情。一件事情呢，就是这个税法一直在改变，大家看一下，某些年份它的额度可以是很低的。然后Trump的税改呢是一个临时的税改，所以到了2026年的时候呢，会转回去，至少会 cut 一半。所以的话，你还是要注意到这一点。第二个我想提醒大家的是什么呢？就是每个州的这个遗产的豁免额度是完全不一样的。比如我们 Illinois 州是4个 million。然后我前2个星期在跟 Oregon 的朋友做 webinar 才发觉，他们的州的遗产税的额度只有100万，而且这些都是可以变化的。我这里最后跟大家说一下呢，是这样的，就是美国的这个税率啊，现在是很低很低的时候。如果我当这个图没有给大家做，I'm going to ask around a question. Before Reagan took office in the 80s.Guess what's the marginal tax rate?
This is the Jimmy Carter years, and I remember, and I was a young little
baby.
But I remember, because I read, but I remember interest rates were up there, 18%, almost 20%. So I don't know what the tax rate was, but interest rates were crazy.
Yeah.Marginal tax rate today is 37%. If you counted the additional investment tax and the additional Medicare tax, about 41.7. But in those days, it was over 80%.
That's crazy. I mean, literally. I mean, Justine, literally, every dollar you made back then, you gave 81 cents back to the government?The
last dollar, not every dollar, because it's progressive, right? But you have to make a certain amount of money to get there. But yes, 所以从历史角度来看，我们现在的税率基本上是美国历史上最低的时候。 所以如果你担心将来的税率会上去的话，这些 LIRP 对你是非常重要的，因为你到年纪大的时候就会有这些 tax-free 的 distribution。然后如果有 estate tax 的问题的话 ，life insurance 还可以帮你这个 provide liquidity。You know, Ron, I'm thinking a lot. We talked so much about the PPP loan and the disaster loan earlier. Before the webinar actually started, right? I mean, this is great what the government is doing, and you were talking about the government help to support the market, right?
Yeah.
So what's the consequence of all this subsidy, really?
Justine, you know it. All this fiscal stimulation, all this fiscal support. Someone's going to have to pay the bill, right? It's having a big party and someone's going to have to pay the bill and have a big hangover, right? The bill is coming. So, I mean, I talk to a lot of people in my industry, very smart people, smarter than myself. Higher taxes are probably coming. Higher taxes are probably coming. So this is what you got to really focus on. Like, your accounting practice, you really help focus people on looking at tax efficient investments. And this is one of the tools you're going to find in a LIRP strategy. It is one of the most tax-efficient strategies out there to grow. It is.
I agree. 我觉得我们的国家的赤字会越来越高。当然，这些 stimulus plan 也很好，帮助我们大家渡一个难关。但我觉得接下去美元会贬值的吧，然后通货膨胀率会上去的吧，不知道什么时候会来。所以的话呢，我们觉得我们自己在做各种的 plan 的时候，税总是一个最重要的 play。Tax is the most important play。我最后可以再问 Ron 一个问题，这个问题也有很多的客人问我。Ron, I have my last question for you of the day. How about I am really invested in this LIRP, right?
Yep.
I do a very good job putting a lot of money. Hope I can get a tax-free distribution when I'm older. And how about Congress change the law on life insurance? What happens then?
No, that's a very good common question a lot of the clients ask. If you start a LIRP, you're going to be grandfathered in. Okay, you're going to be grandfathered in because the actual tax law and has the availability for you to, once you're in these structures, a LIRP is basically a life insurance shell that you put investments in, and you're going to be grandfathered in there once you're in there. Because if you do research, and you guys go home and do research, 85% of Congress, 85% of all the lawmakers that we have out there have investments in LIRPs, 100%. So they're not going to be looking at their own family, how they grow money for their next generations. They're going to grandfather it in. So no, the concern there is that you have to look at it now before the tax really starts to take off, the tax rate. So.
Yeah, I believe this tax code is coming out to help the wealthy anyways in the very beginning, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.